Hello, and welcome to A Little Piece of Promised Land. Today, I'm going to teach you a way for you to garden even if you don't own any land yourself. Today is Urban Farming Tip Tuesday. We're out in the garden to talk about something called tenant farming. Now, I know that when you think tenant farming, your mind goes back about 150 years and you think, no, but tenant farming in modern times is protected by the law. Unlike sharecropping or all of the older traditions, tenant farming basically means that you come as the tenant farmer with your skills and your tools and your seeds, and you already agree to a set price, whether in trade or in money, to use a certain plot of land. But all of the vegetables are yours. There's no beholdenness, meaning that you don't end up finding yourself owing them more money. There's no like hidden hook. You agree that this person will give you water and a space to garden, and maybe you'll give them a pound or two of vegetables every week, or maybe you'll give them a small bit of money. When looking for a place to tenant farm, I would suggest that you don't rule out people who want you to work on their property. Not in the sense of like you're going to do their fields too or something, but for example, we were able to have garden space in a neighbor's place because they were older and they had a nice large yard, but they weren't able to keep up with the yard. It became overgrown, it was very tall and weedy, and in Israel we have snakes. I mentioned that before, but the snakes are a big deal. And so what happens is if your yard becomes overgrown, the city can give you a huge fine. And to avoid having to pay the fine quarterly from the city, they gave us a 6-foot by 21-foot spot that allowed us to grow vegetables. And in exchange, we were in charge of keeping the rest of the yard mowed and taken care of. Tenant farmers still have to follow the laws, the local laws and state laws and all of the ordinances. So if you're in a suburban division, um, you need to check that out. If you should check out if there's any issues with the HOA. I know in our area, you're allowed poultry. You can have up to 24 birds, and that includes chickens, ducks, turkeys, quail, whatever. So tenant farming does come with one disadvantage. You are responsible for all of your seeds and all of your equipment, and the person who you rent from gives you the land and the water. Now, then you have to decide what all of that is worth, and that'll be dependent on where you live, what's the going rate. If there isn't a going rate, maybe a barter would be a better way to take care of that. You'll also have to agree with the person, the landlord. You'll have to agree with them on your growing practices. Do they want you to be organic? Do they have a preference with what you use? If you're not organic and they have other things in their yard, you have to know. You have to know what their yard was used for. So you're going to have to ask some questions and see what they did in the last 3 years or so on their yard. Okay, so I hope that you liked Urban Farming Tip Tuesday. And if you did, please let me know by pressing the like button, subscribing, and coming back to the next video. This is a segment we're going to be trying out for a couple of weeks to see how it actually, how it's received with the general audience. So leave a comment if there's some other aspect of urban farming that you want to have covered in the future.